Here we go, Sunny Days, 305 Degrees podcast. And sometimes people say, you shouldn't toot your own horn. But, hey, man, this is the tooting horn season, right? Yeah. So I want you to know that on Sunny Days, 305, on this segment, you got two legends sitting on the couch.
For sure.
Street legends, prison legends, and after prison legends.
That's right.
And you could already tell, Big Sweet keeping it clean. He come, taking off from his job, So it's Sunny Day 305. Sweet, what's up with you? How you doing today, bro?
Man, just chilling, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, just had to come jump on this thing. This, you know what I'm saying? Took a little minute off, my job, and, just had to come get on this thing. You know what I'm saying? Been missing for a little while, but I'm back.
Back and never left.
And never left.
So I did a segment on how difficult it is for people to deal with people like you and I that done a long prison sentence. And so in the last segment, I talked about, when I went the kind of couple of times when I took my first shower as a free person, being used to wearing our shower shoes in the shower for over a couple of decades off in that thing.
Yeah.
So when I turned the water on and was ready to get in the shower, I had my shower shoes on, and so I froze. And I was confused. I ain't know what to do. I ain't know whether, just keep on taking a shower with my shower shoes on or take the shower shoes off, right? So I decided to take the shower shoes off. And so in my mind, my mind told me, bro, you stepping in the shower with no shower shoes on?
Yeah.
So I'm really thinking I'm back off in prison. So now I'm kind of tiptoeing in the shower thinking that, I might, miss the dirt or miss the whatever that's down there. And then I had to catch myself, And I don't know how long it took me with that process to finally come to the realization that, bruh, you don't wear your shower shoes in the shower out here, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the most difficult times and, difficult scenarios that you or some of your family or our family members had to go through with you coming out?
Well, I was going through the same thing with that shower thing, and I really didn't notice it. You know what I'm saying? Because when I got to the halfway house, you know what I'm saying, I was still doing it, jumping in there. You know what I'm saying? So when I got home, I was still doing it, but I really didn't notice it. Right? So it took my wife, right, to actually come in the bathroom and see me do it because I didn't pay no attention. It was just something normal. So I would just get in there. I still got my shower shoes on and right. But at first she didn't notice it. So she came in there one day and she like, babe, where your shower shoes at? So when I looked down, I was like embarrassed to tell her that I got it on. Right. So this had been going on for like months and I never realized it. So when she looked in there, she told me, she said, if you get in that shower one more time with them shower shoes on, I know you were doing it. I just ain't want to say nothing. Right. So man, just being away for so long, it's so many traits that we do and we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, another trait that I was doing is when they let me from the halfway house to go home, right? Every day at like 4:35, I would be in the room on my bed.
Why?
It was just something normal. You know what I'm saying? A everyday pattern, every day of doing it every day. So that's what I was accustomed to doing.
So doing what? So what happens around that time? What happened in prison around that time to make you do that same thing?
So around that time, it was general count.
What time?
at 5 o'clock, but they lock you in like 4 something, right? So bruh, like for like I think it was like 3 years, every day I would always check my clock because I would just be getting off work, right? So I wouldn't even take a shower.
Right.
So I was so used to coming from work, you know what I'm saying, wait the after count, then go take a shower. So every day, like 4:30, 4:35, I would go in the room and I would just sit on the bed like this. So my wife, she didn't catch on to it's like 3 years going on like that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So she come in the room one day, she say, babe, why every day you just come in the room and sit on the edge of the bed? I was like, I couldn't even answer it. So, being gone for over 20 years, it's hard to just come back and adapt because you are so I don't even must know the word for this, but you are so in tune with doing something for years and decades and decades and right. So this your everyday thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand after you do 10, 20, and 30 years in prison, get out to your family and everybody, they don't understand you because you don't understand yourself. Right? So you do the same thing that you were doing in prison. You know what I'm saying? Nobody don't, you know what I'm saying, walk behind me too close. What you doing? Right? So one instant, right? It took me some years to get over this too. So every time me and my wife, we would go out, we would be in the store, grocery store, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I would always keep a pen with me because I was used to being in the jail with a knife. So I can't carry no knife. I'm on probation, so I would carry a pen. So one instant, we in a little corner store, and the dude just shot up to my wife to ask for some money, right? So I'm so in tune to, like, if a dude step to you that close or you know what I'm saying, come around you, you automatically, your guard's up, you ready to strike. Right? So when he do that, I immediately pull the pin and, bro, don't never walk up on her like that, right? So being institutionalized back in society, is you still institutionalized for years and years to go.
Yeah.
So man, it's hard out here, bro. If you not align yourself with something positive, or align yourself with a positive thinking, you will be back in prison. I mean, like, fastly.
Yeah.
You will spaz out like to the level where you be like, I'm in jail. So when you in jail, right, your level is so high, right? Your antennas up so high, so every little move you ready to strike, right? So I know that was like putting fear, right, in my wife because she couldn't understand what was going on. So yeah, man, it's a lot, bro.
So let me say this, 'cause a lot of times people ask me a question and I answer it fast without giving it a thought, So first of all, how long you been out?
I've been out right now, let me see, 2015 is 2024, 9 years.
So you've been out 9 years. So on a scale from 1 to 10, where do you think you at as far as readjusting back into society, realizing that, sometimes you have prison thoughts, sometimes you have free people thoughts, and sometimes it's hard to distinguish between the two. So from a scale to 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the weakest, where do you think you at as far as adjusting back into society with those prison thoughts and stuff like that?
That's a good question because I have a lot of flashbacks and like I ain't gonna say every day, but like at least about twice a month or 3 times a month, because the things that I do is, well, my job have a lot of youngsters, right? And what I try to do, is mentor them as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So my prison life always be active because I always let them know what prison is like.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I think it was 2 weeks ago, it was a young dude that me and a couple of dudes had helped get a job there, not knowing he was a hitter.
A hitter?
Yeah.
What is a hitter?
Well, the hitters is one of them, little young dudes out there busting heads and, busting that gun.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, me not knowing, but I can feel it because I know that,
That feeling, that
that
vibration,
feeling.
yeah.
So I'm talking to him every day, and I'm talking to him, and he vibing, right? But he totally in the streets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it was 2 weeks ago, the police rounded a whole lot of dudes up that had did a murder. I think if it was on 54, it was in Opelika somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and he was one of them.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Not knowing that he was one with some of his partners, and they hit him up.
Mm.
So him and his other little crew went back and, wet them up, not knowing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I heard that, I was like, oh man, I thought I had them fail.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because my mission is, if I can get these young dudes to put them guns down, then I'm cool.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So it's hard for me to balance this thing out from 1 to 10, or saying where I'm at, but I'm closer to 10.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can say that, but I'm closer to 10. But my thing is to get these young dudes, man, to put them guns down, because you never know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? You never know who you around. Like, this dude was he was a smacker.
Mm-hmm.
Now he in jail, M1, murder on first degree.
Mm-hmm.
Arson because they burned their car. You know what I'm saying? They got the guns, auto guns. One of the dudes had a gun that was registered to him.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, bruh, it's so I like to have my prison wisdom on hand at all times.
Right. Right. So sometimes they be saying, man, you should, change your way totally and forget how you used to be. But, sometimes, you have to bring them things up.
You have to.
And I remember, bruh, like, them young dudes used to come into the prison system 18, 19, 20 years old. And we used to try to grab them up. The old heads grab them up because we didn't want them to fall victim to those predators in there or gangs or different other type of stuff, right? And then one of the old heads really got on us because they said, hey, man, what y'all doing? He said, man, these same young dudes that be talking about, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, like they the most humblest people in the world. He said, them the same people that be on the news.
Yeah.
Killing people. You know what I mean? And so, so I wouldn't want to kill my prison instincts too, because in prison, really, we really went off feelings,
Yeah.
right? So for example, you walk in a TV room when it's normally crowded at a certain time. When you walk in there and it's not crowded, something tell you, hey man, back up out of here, man. Something going on crazy, And then just like the feeling, something going down in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, man, I just, I think about, man, as I, go out there and deal with them young brothers, man. You know what I mean? And so my thing, I always be going at the older dudes that really taught them that type of hitter game and did that type of stuff like that, right? So, like I said, I was talking about, how people adjust to us when we in prison. And on that, I'm going to close out. And I'll say, like, sometime, most of the time, people like you and I, people been locked up, we have to come and sit down and we have to talk to each other, because people that have never been through what we've been through, they wouldn't understand what we're going through.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'll say, like, and they underestimate us.
A lot.
So let me tell you something. So for a person that been in prison for a long time, whenever they take on a course of study, it's to the extreme, right? So if you tell a person that's been in prison a long time that study, that when they say something, they have the stuff to back it up. So for example, if you tell one of us that Jesus is black in prison, first of all, we want to prove that to be a lie.
Yeah.
So guess what we're going to do? We going down to the chapel department. We got our whole book bag of highlighters, different color highlighters, different color pencils, and different color this or that. We going to go down to the chaplain. We going to pull out the encyclopedia. We going to pull out the almanac. We going to pull out the dictionary. We going to pull out, we going to go back to way back then, what the weather was then.
Yeah.
Was it rainy? Was it cold? Who populated that area? How many people populated? Is Jesus the original name? Is it the Hebrew name? Is it so? So when you deal with us on this, so that's why a lot of us, we don't even talk about, especially religion. A lot of stuff that we don't talk about, because a lot of stuff that people been studying and people been studying for them, bro. We have an in-depth study on different things. And so for me, like, coming out, so I've been in the Nation of Islam kind of like the whole bit, and I was a minister for a long time, right? So the Nation of Islam, we almost like military, and militant, under control, right? And so me, I'm like hardwired. I'm like a soldier, like, if a paper drop on the ground, I see it, if people talking to me, I could catch on if it's passive aggressive language, or if it's sincere, I could catch up on lies. I could pick up on lies. So it's a lot of things, a lot of things that, we learn from off in that thing, that some of it's important. Some of it we can't even share with people on the street, even though it's the truth.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'll just say, bro, like, for you and I, man, I'm so happy, man, that God gave us a life to live, man.
Yeah.
Long enough to see, long enough for our sweet mother, may she rest in peace.
Yes.
She seen our lives transform before she left.
Yeah.
And she was really, really so happy about that, man.
Man, that was my number one concern, man, when I was in jail. Just to not, be in there, when she did transform, because every one of our aunts and uncles and grandparents, you know what I'm saying, and some cousins transition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's only I think we got out with 3: Auntie Pat, Mommy and Daddy, and you know what I'm saying, then Uncle Puddin' Pad, bro. That was my, you know, that was my number one thing. I didn't want to go through that in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, yeah.
So in closing, I want people to know, man, that whatever the streets told us about ourselves, told us that we was, man, all that stuff was a lie, man. You know what I mean? And like, a lot of time, you know, I be asking myself, man, if I had this thing to do all over again, would I tweak something? Would I change something? And my quick response would be yes. That's the quick response without really thinking about the question. It would be yes. Because it's so much pain and death and agony and crying and tears and suffering and darkness. Don't know if we gonna get out. Don't know if the day gonna be the last day we gonna be living in prison. So it's a lot of stuff that I've been through and you've been through throughout the years for me to say, no, I wouldn't change nothing, man.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wouldn't change nothing, because if God favors me like he do, like, and I believe that God loved me and he favors me definitely because of my work, but because of my long suffering and never, never, never cursing him to his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I did a little live this morning. I told people, I say, if somebody asked me, was it just a show? I would lift my hand to Jesus and tell the whole world no. So I'm going to say this in closing, right? In Miami, Florida, with people that had them street names from off 15th Avenue, from off the Project and 73rd, and all other places out of town. As far as people was getting money in our town, Miami, Florida, no dudes that went to prison that had a name for themselves in Miami, Florida, has come out in these streets and saving this community like me and you is doing.
None.
What's some of the stuff that you're doing in the community?
Well, I'm part of the Circle of Brotherhood, and the Circle of Brotherhood had opened many doors for me, and I go, you know what I'm saying, and to them little youth schools where, you know what I'm saying, the dudes in the, where our young brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, in them schools where they get expelled from the regular schools.
Mm-hmm.
And some be in there, they be like 3 years behind because of the foolishness.
Right.
So I go in there, you know what I'm saying, and I don't beat them down, and I don't, yo, man, listen here, man, stop that foolishness. I go in there and be like, man, listen, man, you know, try to encourage them, you know what I'm saying, to read more, because for me, right, when I was in school, I hated reading because I used to stutter a lot, so I hated reading.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Reading wasn't my thing, but math, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't really got to read in math, but by me studying so much, I used to hate to read. And a lot of them, they don't like to read.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I go through them little schools, and I done been in 1, 2, 3, about 4 of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So my name is well known in there, so you know what I'm saying, that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Besides going into the streets on 15 and sitting up there talking to the, you know what I'm saying, the little homies from back in the days,
Right,
and
right.
you know what I'm saying, pouring into them and try to just change them. You know what I'm saying? Because, bruh, you know what I'm saying, like you just said, ain't none of them dudes that used to be on the air with us selling and talking about they getting money and
Yeah, yeah.
none of them are doing that.
Right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So by God giving me a second chance, because I probably should have still been in prison for the craziness I was doing in prison.
In prison.
In prison.
So look, on the next segment, we going back to that prison gang, violent, what it's like in the prison.
Yes.
Coming up next, Sunny Days, 305. Subscribe to our page, hit the like button, and share.
And share it. That's what you do.
Peace.
Greetings. This is Sunny Days 305 Degrees podcast. Our community said they wanted a platform that they could get their ideas and their messages out. Hence, Sunny Days 305 is on fire.